Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a Senior Advisor within the Industry Operations branch at the Alberta Energy Regulator. Today I'm going to talk to you and show you how to use the Alberta Energy Industry Water Use Report for enhanced oil recovery. When you first enter the report, you're going to come to a disclaimer which has a little bit of information on a purpose and description, along with terms of use, copyright, and disclaimer. Over on the right here, there's a button for share where you can email a link of this page to an acquaintance if you like. There is a button for download as well, where you can download an image of these pages or a PDF file. Now there's a couple of different tabs across the top here which will bring you to different pages within this report. We'll go to the Enhanced Oil Recovery Water Use Summary page now. At the top here is a little bit of information on enhanced oil recovery, which we encourage you to read to have a better understanding of the technology. And now we'll look at this figure in the top left here, which is the total water use and hydrocarbon production for enhanced oil recovery operations across Alberta. The gray area here shows the total hydrocarbon production, and you can hover your mouse at various points and see what that barrel of oil equivalent production is for different years. And there's different lines on here that represent the total volumes of water used for enhanced oil recovery. Now, makeup water is the volumes of water that are needed to be added to the recycled water to give us enough water to conduct that operation as necessary. As we go down a little bit more here, we see a figure related to that makeup water sources. We can see for enhanced oil recovery operations, those makeup water sources have been trending downwards since 2013, as well as the non-saline water use has been trending downwards. Now we can go a little bit lower and see how they use their non-saline water and how effective they are using it with the non-saline water use intensity, which we have talked about before. Now that non-saline water use intensity is a measure of how much non-saline water they use to produce 1 barrel of oil equivalent. So you can see that for enhanced oil recovery operations or water flood operations in 2013 they used 0.93 barrels of non-saline water to produce 1 barrel of oil equivalent. That's been steadily trending downwards, where in 2017 they used 0.7 barrels of non-saline water per barrel of oil equivalent. Now on the right side of the page here, we see a map, and this map shows different areas of the province where non-saline water is being used specifically for enhanced oil recovery operations. You can see that these operations are dotted across the province. Not particularly in the northeast, which is dominated by bitumen, oil sands mining, and thermal in situ operations. And if you hover your mouse pointer over each one of these, it brings up a box and tells you specifically how much water was used, non-saline water was used in that Huck 8 area. This image just above that shows enhanced oil water allocation and use in 2017. So as we've talked about previously, water allocation is water that is licensed through the Water Act to be used for that purpose. And we see that surface water allocations for enhanced oil recovery here were 76 million cubic meters. Groundwater allocations, groundwater was licensed for 25 million cubic meters. But as we find is often the case, the actual use of non-saline water is far less than that which is approved for them to use. In this case, in 2017, enhanced oil recovery operations only used 12 million cubic meters of water, which is about 13% of what they were allocated to be using. We'll now move on to the next tab, which is company data, which is new from last year, where we provide specific information related to specific individual companies that are conducting enhanced oil recovery operations. There's a little bit of an explanation at the top here about EOR, which we encourage you to read, and then you can come down a little lower and select different sizes of companies. We find that it's important to compare companies of different size and look at companies of different size because they have different capacities to do different things with their operations. You can also choose the different types of enhanced oil recovery schemes from conventional ER, enhanced recovery, which is traditional water floods, or non-thermal in situ, which is really bitumen, but it's not in situ thermal bitumen. It's more using water or different techniques to get that bitumen out of the ground. So now we first see, based on this company size grouping we've picked here, all those different companies of that size and their non-saline water use intensity. We have a little slider bar here in case they don't all fit based on the company size you choose. We have noticed, and we explain a little bit in this paragraph here, that the intensity of non-saline water use for enhanced oil recovery really depends on a number of cases on how old that enhanced oil recovery scheme has been operating. You can see schemes that are 1 to 10 years old are quite low. Schemes 40 and 50 and then even 50 years old can be quite a bit higher in their non-saline water use. We see some blanks here because we need to select a specific company now that we see above, and we will go up here and choose for this example just the company on the left side. Now we see here information for that specific company that we just selected and the schemes that are in different age groupings, and we see their pattern here that their younger schemes typically use less non-saline water per barrel of oil equivalent than their older schemes. The shape of this image here really matches the shape of their fellow companies in that area. Now we can see further information by looking specifically at different scheme ages and compare different companies to see how they compare to each other. We'll choose 30 to 40 year groupings for our example. So now we scroll down a little bit here, and now we're looking at all companies with at least 20 million barrels of oil equivalent per year production. We're looking at all the schemes that are 30 to 40 years old. So on the left here we see different companies that have enhanced oil recovery schemes of that age. We see the water use volumes that those companies are using, the hydrocarbon production, as well as that non-saline water use intensity, or barrel of non-saline water per barrel of oil equivalent recovery. Now if we want to learn more information specifically about a company here, we'll choose the same one that we've been looking at and look at some of their history rather than just 2017. We choose them here and we scroll down, and now we can see the past 5 years on their performance. Now we can also show their 5-year trend on their non-saline water use intensity. This particular operator in their 30 to 40-year-old schemes has decreased from 1.61 barrels of non-saline water per BOE produced in 2013 down to just under a half a barrel of water per BOE produced in 2017. And that is a quick overview of our enhanced oil recovery water use report. As with some other tabs, you can click on Notes for Data, which provides some specific information on where we get the data and how we calculate it, as well as a Glossary tab, which gives you definitions of some of the various terms that you've heard me use and will read in the report. Thank you.